Diving into your next act or wondering what's ahead? Enjoy life as you change your path and embrace your authentic self.
Join me as we discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of making big changes in your life. New directions both personally and professionally. Shake things up. But don't worry, you are not alone. On each episode, we'll be sharing stories, providing valuable information, and introducing you to others navigating their next act. So let's get inspired.
This is a Candy Factory Convo, Life in the Next Act with Gail Shane.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life in the Next Act. Today, we're going to talk with Christine Schneider, President and Chief Event Strategist at Alegre Events, a full-service event strategy and management company. Alegre Events specializes in virtual, hybrid, and in-person events for nonprofit, corporate, and community organizations. Christine will be discussing nonprofit fundraising and marketing solutions using the latest technology to take your fundraising event beyond your local reach. Christine will talk about event trends for 2021 and her pivot or else attitude. Hello, Christine.
Hi, Gail. It's great to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. Christine, can you share with our listeners where you began in your career path and your pivot or else decision in 2020?
Sure. I grew up right here in Lancaster County on a dairy farm. And my parents taught me early on a strong work ethic and faith. And I was the first to attend college. So I attended college here locally at Elizabethtown College. And one summer, I worked at a temp service, and I was placed at a local bank. And I thought, oh, this is really going to be boring. But it was anything but that, because I met a lot of great people. And I ended up working there after college and started in as a banking trainee and went into their marketing department. And there is where I really had the opportunity to learn and grow in planning their events, whether it be VIP or a team building event or a client event. And that sort of planted the seed later in life. So many people that I worked with, I still keep in touch with today, and they're mentors. And I'm just so grateful for that great foundation in the environment. And then after that, I got married to my high school sweetheart, and I had 2 kids. And so I was working in the marketing department, but I wanted more of that life-family balance. So I thought, all right, I'm going to present an opportunity where I'm going to work at home 2 days remotely, and I'm going to work in the office 3. Like, this is perfect. This is going to work well. I have a strong work ethic. They value me. And one of the first things that my manager said was, well, how will I know that you're working? And it was crushing because I'm like, really? But you know, it's sort of ironic now, because what have we all been doing, this past year? So glad that has changed over that time. So I swallowed my pride and I stayed there for a while, but then banks started changing. They started acquiring banks and merging. And I realized that it was time for me to move on. And I did project for a while. I worked in a marketing and advertising firm. And then I met another mentor of mine, Linda, and we ended up being an outsourced marketing department for banks, community banks, and startup banks across the state. And it was a great ride. We ended up being in a bank together located in Bucks County. But then another life change. If anybody has worked in banks, a lot of downsizing, a lot of changes, and they downsized and I lost my job. So again, devastated. But what they did that was great is they offered a career counselor, and the career counselor started to really challenge me and say, okay, is this what you're passionate about? Is this what you love? And I had to think about it, and that your bank changed for the 3rd time and that was good for you really didn't feel that authentic anymore. And so maybe I was ready for a change. So I was grateful for that. And during that time, she encouraged me to do a lot of reading. And I read Rick Warren's book, A Purpose-Driven Life. And I really wanted that. I wanted to use my God-given gifts and passion and really make a difference and feel like I helped people. So it took a while, though. One night Indeed was my best friend, the app. And so one night I woke up at 3 a.m. and I looked at my app and I saw this job where I could work in a nonprofit that empowered orphan children. And I thought, well, what could be better than that? So I always volunteered a lot throughout in schools and in different nonprofits, but this could be my ticket and my next career path. Okay, now I'm really aligning my goals. So it was great. I was able to international travel. I loved it. I really thought that, okay, that's my last stop. Well, then again, 2 years later, there was a new manager and the position in the organization went part-time. They felt events was a part-time position. Well, with 2 in college, that just didn't really work anymore. So again, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm 48 years old and I'm starting over again. Now what do I do? Ironically, at the same time, an event management company that I actually hired at the nonprofit to help me with an event actually had an opening at the time, and the owner approached me about joining her team. And her name, many of you may know her, is Susan Eberly with Alegre Events. And so that's sort of the start of my time there. So that was January of 2020. So fast forward a few weeks and we're in a pandemic. And I'm really sort of questioning my life choices. Like, okay, now what do I do? So Susan and Erin Patota, a coworker of mine, we really had to sit down and think about it. Her core niche business, and we work with a lot of nonprofits, their mission goes on. It doesn't matter if it's any type of obstacle or a pandemic, they had to raise money. So we had to find a way to do that. Right. So it took a lot of sort of digging deep and researching, but we made a decision that we were going to find a way to help them. So we started doing webinars on how to transition your in-person event to a virtual event, and sort of the rest is history. And fast forward until December of this year, Susan retired and I purchased the business, and now I'm the new president, and so grateful for the opportunity. And finally, before I was working for one nonprofit for a difference, and I just feel so blessed for the opportunity now to work with many nonprofits because there's so many great organizations out there.
And listening to your story, sometimes it's timing and sometimes it's perseverance. Mm-hmm. And like you said, the show must go on for nonprofit fundraising. So Christine, how do you provide peace of mind to your clients at Alegre Events?
Right. Well, that's always our goal. Our name, Alegre, means cheerful. So at least I hope that we can put some positivity in the world. But sort of the core of who we are, our team really treats the event as if it was our own. So because we have that nonprofit experience and worked in the corporate world, we understand what our clients are facing. They're facing an ever-ending to-do list with limited staff and budget. And that's where we can come in and help them, regardless of what help they need, to really provide that peace of mind. And for many of our clients and many employees, they might love events, but it's added to their to-do list. And the problem, if you've ever planned an event, is you can't really enjoy it because you're worrying about all the details and worrying about how everyone else is doing. So that's sort of what we can provide. We can walk alongside you. We can plan the event. The choice is theirs.
Christine, you have a team of movers and shakers behind every event. Tell us about the team and how you actually strategize with your clients to make their fundraiser successful.
Right. We start, Erin Patota, I mentioned her before. Her and I are the lead strategists. So we start with offering a free, no obligation consultation. We'll sit down and we'll meet with you and talk through your organization, your event needs, because every event is different. There's no cookie cutter event. We'll customize a solution to you and really find out your reason why. Every event has their own reason and their own determinant of what deemed success for them. So it's very important for us to be strategic and to get in there with you to be able to help. And we'll integrate with your vendors and your staff. And if you don't have that, we have a team of wonderful professionals. We're very blessed in our area that can help you with your videography and your production and virtual production and social media and creative services needs. So again, we help you build the best team possible so you can have the most successful event.
And Christine, we would love to hear about some successful fundraisers. What can you share with us?
Well, this year with the virtual events, it's taught us that now our clients' reach is unlimited. It's not just based on where you live or the size of your organization or the number of people that you can socially distance in an area. Now you have the ability to host an event, whether it be virtual or hybrid, and invite your friends and family and colleagues from around the country. So it's really, really a win-win. And that has been a tremendous factor in our client success is what we term watch parties. So you can build an audience by inviting, again, your friends and family in small groups. Could be a watch party of one or a watch party of two. The choice is yours. So we had one organization that had 600 people in a ballroom in Lancaster. And this year, during a pandemic, they grew to 12 states and 2 countries, over 800 people, and raised over $600,000.
Wow.
So it's huge. And building the audience is key because many of our clients, you have so much to do and you're worried about the program. But if no one's there to watch it, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
So we try to be that blend. The program is very important to have a compelling program that's concise and to the point. But, we need to build that audience. We also have been offering complimentary access, which seems sort of contrary. But then we offer like a VIP component. So it could be a special incentive or it could be a VIP box. We've had lots of fun with them. You can get creative, anything from a charcuterie board to a bottle of wine to anything that they provide that can produce excitement and sort of build that a community across all of those watch parties. And then it also gives them accountability that they'll show up and actually watch your event. And
silent auctions and live auctions, are you able to do that as well?
Yes, we are a reseller of a mobile bidding and auction technology software that has been really a game changer. It doesn't really, again, matter the size of your organization. It's very economical, and it allows you to not be limited, even in an in-person environment, even after COVID, when we get in there. Who wants to stand in front of the paper and write their bid? When we finally can get together, everyone is going to want to socialize and network. And so what could be more convenient by taking your phone, registering for an event, contactless, taking your bid, making your bid for your silent and live auction, making a donation and checking out, all in the convenience of your phone. So we love to share that opportunity because, again, it's been a real game changer because most of our clients will increase their revenue because, again, people either don't see your silent auction with the paper or they just don't want to do it because they want to network.
It's another silver lining of COVID, and wow, how things are changing for fundraising. I like to let our listeners know you can visit Alegre.events for a free virtual event checklist and a listing of some of the organizations that they have helped. Christine, you're sharing a lot of things with us. What are the new event trends in 2021 that might excite us? Because after all, we could all use something new.
Well, isn't that the truth? But unfortunately, I can't really predict the future, but there are certain things that we learned from 2020 that I think will be enhanced in 2021. The one thing that we know is virtual events in some form are here to stay. We've just learned and grew so much. They've been challenging at times, but just like I talked about, the increased geographic area and reach and reaching those people that you never would have in an in-person event. But what we're seeing now is the move to a hybrid event. So, for example, one of our organizations that we work with, in 2020, they had no choice. They had to go virtual. They took their in-person conference. They developed educational sessions that they had live, but then it was also available for on demand and for purchase. And then in 2021, they're actually going to have an in-person conference, but then still offer that virtual component. So again, expanding their reach, because why not? Why not do that? We are finding that most events will be hybrid, especially in the fourth quarter. People are ready to safely get together, but it might look a little different. You have reduced costs, and again, the scalability. And, we miss in-person events just like everyone. But I feel like we as an organization that consults, that we would be doing a disservice to our clients if we did not encourage them to do both.
Right.
Yeah. So, in addition, I talked about those watch parties. Some people use the term micro events. Whatever you use, the concept is instead of having 500 people in an in-person event, why not have 10 people at 50 different events? Again, using that scalability, because smaller events allow people to network more personally. They don't feel like lost in a massive numbers. And also to that person that would never come to your event. They just don't like galas. They don't like getting dressed up. They don't want to get the babysitter. Now they can, have something in their backyard, or it might be a little more comfortable to be invited by a friend to come to their home. So again, that accessibility. And plus, each host can host their own experience. They could have that big soiree with a cocktail hour, or again, a barbecue or a pool party in the backyard. The host determines. And their only thing that we ask them to do is to gather their people for a shared experience of 1 hour that we can put in front of them and share that mission of a nonprofit or an event, a corporate event with them. So we make it very easy for them to participate. And then I guess the only other one that I was thinking is that, we've all seen we're getting a little virtual event weary. And some events have not been so great. At the very beginning, it was a little touchy. Everybody was just trying to do anything to get content out. But I think everyone's expectations have increased. So we have to really pay attention to that and have increased content and engagement, really thoughtful time. If you're asking them to commit time to you, make it really thoughtful and engaging and impactful. Why is it important that they should care about your event? Why should they give? So that is really compelling. And also the importance of having a high quality production. This is not the time to get your friend in the backyard to do an event. Those are fine. But if you're trying to really ask for some serious dollars, hire a professional. Doesn't have to be me, but hire a professional. There's many out there to have a highly produced event that your people can appreciate, because unfortunately it lives forever on YouTube and social media. So you want to do a good job because it's sharing your story.
Christine, you're a wealth of information, and events are fun, but to produce the event is a lot of work. So I would like to ask you, what have you had to overcome in your personal life and your career to find your passion and your purpose?
Well, that is a loaded question. I shared some of sort of the ups and downs of my career. And in preparing for this interview, I asked my friends, what should I talk about? And what they talked about is sort of my resilience and ability to overcome, whether it be a career challenge or a personal challenge. And, that's important. And the running joke in my sort of group and family is that, if you're going through something, ask Christine, because it probably happened to her, or she knows someone that did. And I'm not saying that to make you feel sorry for me, but I'm saying that to be really authentic. There was a good part of my time where I thought I had to be perfect and I had to put this perfect image out, and I couldn't share some of that. But I found as I got older and that I think it's important to really be authentic, because many times people are going through similar situations. I'm a woman of faith, and I have good family and friends that have supported me. But there were days where I would just sit and cry, saying, I don't know if I or my family will be ever whole again. With the career changes, it was tough. Our daughter was sexually molested at the age of 12 by someone we knew. Serious stuff. Alcohol abuse, mental illness, sort of family health issues, tough stuff. And I say that because I want to offer you hope. It took me a while to figure it out. It took me a while to be able to be courageous, to ask and to seek services. And we have so many here, many of the nonprofits that I work with. If you're going through something now, and many people are, I'm really worried about everyone's mental health during this time of COVID, but there's people out there that will help you. So please be courageous and really just don't get stuck. And every hurt and time and struggle that I've gone through, I've tried to find the reason in it and what I can learn and grow. And I encourage you to do that too. Unfortunately, there's no dress rehearsal in life. We're only given one life to live. And so if you're not happy where you're at, or where you don't want to be in your career or your life, please don't give up. Move on to your next act. It can be quite fun and fulfilling. And find your true passion in life. And so if I can do it at almost 50 years old, I know you can do it too. And I just encourage you to believe in yourself, because we have a lot to give.
Thank you so much, Christine, for being with us and sharing your passion and your wonderful spirit. You can reach Christine at christine@alegre.events. or 717-940-0976. I'd like to leave you with this. Be like the ocean, breathtaking to look at, strong enough to not be destroyed, and gentle enough so others find comfort in your presence. Be like the ocean. Join us next time as we aim to inspire, empower, and inform. Life in the Next Act is a proud member of the Candy Factory Collective. You can find the show streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And you could subscribe to the audio version anywhere you get your podcasts.
Gail has experienced many acts over the years. Living a full life, she is a mother of 2 and grandmother of 3, and currently calls Lancaster, PA home. An entrepreneur at heart, she's owned several businesses, hosted a popular radio show, and has written for prominent publications highlighting nonprofits. While she holds her real estate license in Florida and PA, she believes her true calling is giving others a voice.
Learn more about Gail at gailshane.com. Life in the Next Act is produced by the Candy Factory Collective at the Candy Factory Co-working Campus in Lancaster, PA. Production support by Jason Mundock and Anna Tran. Administrative support by Ann Kirby, Ariana Henderson, and Krisha Martzell. Notes and links can be found on the show post at our website, candyfactorycollective.com. Candy Factory Collective.